Crystal Palace are the FA Cup winners 2025, beating Manchester City 1-0 here at Wembley today, May 17th. In what was a highly anticipated encounter, Manchester City were aiming for their 8th FA Cup title, entered the match as favourites, having reached their third consecutive final. Crystal Palace, under manager Oliver Glasner, sought their first major trophy in the club's history. The match promised a clash between City's experience and Palace's determination. City's lineup featured key players like Erling Haaland, who had recently returned from injury, while Palace relied on the creativity of Eze and the defensive solidity provided by Gui and the attacking fullback Daniel Munoz. As the teams prepared for kickoff, fans anticipated a thrilling contest that would either add to City's illustrious trophy cabinet or mark a historic achievement for Crystal Palace. The game started with City half bathed in sunshine and the Palace half in shade. Would Haaland break a bad goal scoring record in cup finals in which he has failed to score in his last 8? Or would Palace's main man Eze be the hero? This was also the first time Pep Guardiola had played Haaland, Marmoush and De Bruyne together, so it was interesting to see how those three would get on. City were playing three at the back, with O'Reilly pushed into midfield and much depending on the wingers of Doku and Savinho for creativity. Palace, as expected, were taking a more reserved approach, 5 at the back, waiting for an opportunity to pounce and hit City on the break. After 5 minutes, we had the first chance of the game, and it fell to City. It was a sight we have seen so many times before. De Bruyne whips in a cross, first time, on the right, between the Palace defenders. Haaland has to stretch inside the 6-yard box to reach the cross, which he does, and tries to reverse it to the opposite side of the goal from which the cross came, but Henderson is able to get his left hand down and put it out for a corner. It was an early warning sign for Palace. City could smell blood and were going for it. On 11 minutes, Guardiola had a free header about 10 yards out in the centre of the penalty area, but Henderson is easily able to push it away again from danger. I feel, am I the only one who thinks Doku and Savinho are not effective enough, considering how important they are in City's setup? Perhaps famous last words. On 13 minutes, Mitchell heads the ball out for a corner under pressure after a good cross in by Bernardo Silva. And from that same corner, Akanji has a looping header which he sees drop over the Palace bar. It was a difficult one to execute and no real danger of a goal, but City were slowly turning the screw. Then, on 15 minutes, why we love football. Its unpredictability. The second time only Palace have crossed into the City half. It starts with a goal kick from Henderson. It comes to Richards, very deep in the right back position, drawing City into the press. It's almost as if this is something Palace had rehearsed before the game. He plays it over the press to the feet of Mateta on the halfway line. He's able to take it down and play a 1-2 with Kamada. Mateta now has more space and sees Munoz bombing up the right wing. O'Reilly is looking infield and hasn't spotted the danger outside of him. Mateta plays the ball in front of Munoz, which has City now on the back foot. Munoz gets to the edge of the box on the right-hand side. City still seem to have a good defensive line. Mateta in the centre is the obvious target, but Munoz plays it slightly behind Mateta's run to the onrushing Eze, who is able to make contact under pressure and guide the ball past Ortega into the City goal. Delight for Palace and their fans, and a goal that the neutrals will have wanted. It was a setback for City, but they would continue doing what had been working for them so well at the start of the game. Palace also would continue to sit back and wait to pounce, but now they had something to hold on to. It was Palace, though, who had the next big chance, and it was very similar to the goal. Eze plays a lovely ball out wide to Munoz, and again from just outside the box, Munoz delivers a low ball in. This time it is Sarr who meets it, but can't sort his feet out quickly enough and can only guide it into the grateful hands of Ortega, with the ball coming straight at him. Suddenly, the game was open, something that would suit City, one would think, more than Palace. Then, on 23 minutes, controversy. Guardiola tries something different, playing a long ball over the Palace defenders for Haaland to run onto. Henderson is already patrolling the edge of his box. Gui does well with a nudge on Haaland that stops the Norwegian from heading the ball past Henderson. This allows the ball to bounce one more time. Henderson had stepped outside the penalty area and is now forced to take a step back. The ball bounces up invitingly between Haaland and Henderson. Haaland wants to take it with his foot around the keeper, but Henderson knocks it away with his hand and the chance is lost. But then VAR wants a look and play is stopped. Henderson, in replays we see, definitely touches the ball outside the box, but the question is he denying Haaland a goal-scoring opportunity? VAR says no. They say Lacroix is still there to cover and that Haaland is actually moving away from goal. I disagree with this. When Haaland goes to touch the ball past Henderson with his foot, Lacroix is level with Haaland, albeit more centrally. I think if Haaland is allowed to touch that ball, he has an opportunity to score, as Lacroix still has a lot to do to block the angle. For Haaland to slide the ball into the net. City are aggrieved, Palace perhaps lucky to still have their keeper on the field. After that spell of excitement, both teams seemed to take a breather for a spell and try to remove the chaos that had been creeping into the game. That is until more drama after 32 minutes and City win a penalty. Diaz has space in the back to drive halfway into the Palace half. He slides the ball to Bernardo Silva in the half space and plays a give and go with him. Savinho makes an excellent run across and creates space for Silva by running across the defenders, which allows Silva to run for the byline inside the penalty area. Mitchell goes with him and lunges in for the challenge. Watching it live, it was clear that Silva makes the most of the challenge, but it can also be said that Mitchell was reckless. Presently, it seems deception is allowed in such cases. It goes to VAR. The ref had given the penalty. Everyone holds their breath. And then the penalty is given and a chance for City to get back into the game. It seems Mitchell in replays did get a toe to the ball, adding to Palace's displeasure. In my opinion, no penalty, given the touch on the ball and given Silva's obvious attempt to try to get the penalty by throwing himself to the ground. Haaland is holding the ball, but as common these days, he's not the one to take it. He hands it off to Marmoush. A big surprise. The big man did not take it himself. Was his record in finals somehow playing on his nerves? Either way, it's Marmoush versus Henderson. The keeper goes to his right, guessing correctly and saving it. Haaland then tries to get something on the rebound, but not enough, and Henderson can pounce on it, drawing it welcomely to his chest. As good as a goal that for Palace, and their fans may say justice was done, while City fans will say he should have been off the field already for handball. Intrigue galore as this cup final begins to heat up. We had to wait though another 10 minutes before the next big chance, and it went to City. Doku gets the ball out left. He cuts inside the field, past Munoz and into the box, and then, using Richards as a shield, tries to curl the ball into the top right corner. But Henderson is there again. He's the bane of the City again, this time sticking out a strong left hand to palm the ball up in the air. There then is a scramble to be under the goalpost when the ball drops. But it is Gui facing his own goal who crucially gets there first and knocks it to the side, but only to Savinho, who heads it back into the mix. Mitchell clears that, but there's not enough pace on the ball to clear it far, and it falls to De Bruyne, who would want to be there in that position, inside the penalty area. He hits it first time as it bounces towards him, but by his standards, he is wasteful with the shot going comfortably over Henderson's bar. Palace now want to get to half-time, regroup and recuperate. 3 minutes are added on. And when the ref blows for half-time, Palace go in 1 goal to the good. Half-time, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 0.